Welcome to the Raj Kotecha Show, #1 podcast in Dubai. If you're looking on the screen right now, you'll see some of the things that we really enjoyed about this episode, but the breakdown is available on the show notes on Spotify and YouTube and wherever else you listen to this podcast. Joining me as always is Vic.
Hello.
And he's an upside down mop. He's not cut his hair in a number of weeks. Straight from auditioning as Shaggy in the 2024 release of Scooby-Doo, where Scooby-Doo will be voiced by Drake.
Yeah.
It is Alexandra.
What's up?
What's up, man? Welcome back.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy today's show?
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah? What did you enjoy about it?
Just being back, honestly. I missed it. You know, something where like you can just talk to people.
Just
about,
talk to a bunch of dudes.
Right? Just about like what happened this week. It's good.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. It was a great episode. We talk about not only Alex being back, but what Vic and I did last weekend out and about in Dubai. Of course, we continued to eat our way through the city. We also talk about the big controversy this week here in Dubai. Deliveroo cutting or suggesting cutting wages and increasing hours. We talk about the what that means to the city, as well as Dave Chappelle getting attacked, the breakdown of that. Drake signing a $400 million deal with Universal Records. That section went really, really long.
Yeah.
We do talk about a future career plan. We all three of us became career advisors for Drake. So we want to find out what you think
Hollywood
about that.
moguls.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what we
exactly.
become. Yeah.
Exactly. We all thought we lived in Hollywood Hills. On top of which, we also today talk about the first 14 out of the 15 My Friends, Your Friends co-hosts. It's all-star, all-female co-hosts for the event coming up on May the 11th. Get your tickets now at myfriendsyourfriends.com. Free entry, free drink, happy hour all night. We also give more details on the workshop. And maybe not, we'll link the workshop up depending on when you're checking out this podcast. It'll be in the show notes. And then content recommendations from the GOAT, NAVAL, RAVIKANT, Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett back and forthing at their annual conference, and another GARYVEE recommendation from the post-millennial that we all know as Alex.
That's right.
Good call. And then some shout outs. Listen, it's a great episode. Whilst you're on here right now as well, Spotify gang, give us a 5-star rating and review. Oh, there's no reviews. Give us that on Apple. YouTube gang, hit us with a subscription. And who's running the music this week?
Alex.
Alex run the music. All right, so we're back. Well, specifically, Alex is back.
What's up?
How do you feel, man? How's your knee? How does it feel to be back in Dubai?
I feel a lot better. I think it's nice to be back in Dubai finally with you two.
Yeah.
Just more in the work mode than when I'm in bed in Abu Dhabi all day.
Did you do work in Abu Dhabi?
A little bit. Less than I should have, but a little bit.
I'm not going to out him on the podcast.
I'm looking at both of you, man. Alex was a 6-month gift to you.
he was
Right?
he was
Kinda.
he was drip feeding the work through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
Nice.
it's good. It's good to be back. Yeah.
Yeah. Like how next week Neil's going to be a gift to you as well.
Yeah.
These are all just
Yeah.
puppies that I adopt. And I'm like,
Ne-
Vic, you need to feed these puppies.
Neil's going straight to Alex.
Yeah. For context, next week you might see my little nephew, 15-year-old Neil. He's going to be interning with us for a week as part of his high school experience or whatever they do, like where you have to go and do some real world stuff. And stupidly, he's chosen us
Yeah.
to be the archetype of what working life is going to be like. But no, it's good to have you back, man.
Yeah.
Specifically, like what your knee can and can't do. Like where you at the moment?
So right now is Eid, so no physio, but Sunday I will start physio again.
How's physio been?
It's pretty tough, honestly, because it's like having a personal trainer at the gym, but for like 45 minutes, you're only focusing on one part of the body.
Jesus.
Like it's only like all I'm doing is my right leg, like not even my left leg. It's just my right leg. So it's pretty tiring. It's hard work.
What's
But
the goal? To be able to bend it in and out and just have
Yeah.
normal ability?
Yeah, exactly. And since no one in their lifetime, unless you get a surgery, you keep your leg straight for 2 weeks. Like, just like you lose muscle quickly and mobility. So,
And drugs?
just pain meds. That's
Wow.
it. And on anti-inflammatories before,
Nice.
but now just pain meds.
What's the end goal? Like, what's the timeline now before you're kind of
I
fully
think-
mobile?
I think fully mobile, another probably like month of solid physio plus just like keep icing it when I'm at home. Yeah, but I think in a month I should be able to properly walk again, no problem. And then in 2.5, 3 months, I'll be able to play sports again.
Oh, amazing.
So
Yeah.
you'll be able to walk in time for my birthday party. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, right. So I can record your party.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
you're thinking
yeah.
about.
I would literally change my birthday. So good. Well, it's good to have you back. As usual, we're going to start off today's episode with out and about in Dubai. And as is always the case, we kind of deep dive straight into the weekend, what our weekend was like. So last Friday, after we recorded the show, I think we parted ways, you and I, Vic, right? I think you went off to do your thing. I went off to do my thing.
Yeah, you're at my house.
Yeah.
And then you took Ine, and me and Shayla went out.
Yeah, so I did a kind of babysitting night, which was cool. And me and Ine, well, so here's what happened. So last Friday, we'd planned for, we tried to plan every week to try and do something. And one in every 10 weeks, it happens where I actually I'm able to hang out with him for the night. We have a lot of fun. And then essentially on Friday night, I took Vic's son out for a night out on the town when Vic and Shayla went on a date night. So, but this was the most like Raj Kotecha night ever. So we basically went for happy hour at LaVille, where you and I have been before, Alex. And then as soon as we got there, the staff was like, oh, like no kids after 6 o'clock. I was like, don't worry, we sorted out with one of our friends there. So then we sat. He had a mocktail pina colada. I had a mocktail margarita, both of which were incredible. You know the drinks up there are
Yeah,
good,
they're
right?
really
we
good.
we hung out there
Yeah.
before. And then we're just chilling, taking some pictures. There's mad hot chicks around. There was I didn't tell you this, Vic, but there was all the sunbeds and stuff were covered, but Ine's eyes did not wander.
What time was it?
Sundown.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got there a little after 6, and we hung out till a little after 7. And then our friend Andrew, who is the head of F&B there until Sunday, where he's just moved on now, and he hung out with us. And then Ine got to sit in on a little kind of 10-15 minute catch up meeting. And then after that, we went to go have P-Day. Now there's a place there called Babaji in the Circle in City Walk, and that's kind of where we went. That's where LaVille is. And when we got there, and I've been wanting to take Ine, no lie, for over a year for this P-Day. It was ramped up even more so by a couple of things. One, he went to that restaurant with Vic and Shayla, and they didn't have the P-Day. Now, a lot of the other stuff they sell is delicious, but whatever the word is, like a pizzeria, it's like a P-Day pizzeria.
Okay.
That's what they're known for. They've got an incredible oven inside there. So anyway, we're walking from LaVille, which is behind the restaurant that I want to take him to. And we walk up to the restaurant. I walk from around the restaurant in front of it, and all the signage has changed from this dark blue to a red with instead of small text, it's got big text. Now it's called BOAZ. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it had some Turkish writing over it as well. So I was like, well, it's still Turkish. And I'm heartbroken because I've been telling Ine for a long time. I was like, when you eat this P-Day, it will taste so good that you'll actually get a cramp in the side of your mouth because you're smiling whilst you're eating. I'm really hyping up to him because I believe in it. It's it's great food. Anyway, we get there and I see the oven. I'm like, yo, what have you guys done? Where's the restaurant? He goes, sir, the restaurant's exactly the same. We just rebranded it. I said, fine. But what about the dishes? He goes, every dish on the menu is exactly the same. We're the same restaurant. We've just changed names. If you spot a single dish on the restaurant which is different, or on the menu which is different, we'll give you a full refund. I was like, oh,
Fair enough.
I said, show me. But I said, show me the following dishes. So he showed them to me. I said, Ine, we're good. We sat down. We ate. We had such good food. He had a great time. Oh, but before that, why was it such a classic Uncle Raj night? Is because in between the hotel and the restaurant, there's a venue. There's a venue that we've done My Friends, Your Friends 3 at back in the day. It was called Lima back then. And I walked past it and I noticed that they'd rebranded it and they'd consolidated 2 venues. There's 2 next to each other. They made them into one. So I go there and then we literally looked at a venue space and we took a meeting. And Ine was looking around being we could put the DJ here and we could have this many people indoor, this many people outdoors. So I feel like he's definitely on the dark side.
He's a natural.
That's good.
Yeah, he's a natural.
That's good.
Yeah. So, but then when you reflect on what was it like out with a night with a kid, you're we went for happy hour and then went to check out a venue and then went for dinner. So it wasn't really very kiddie. And he wanted to ride one of those little animal things, for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you'll look really stupid. I was like, we're not doing that. And then he ordered an ice cream. Those guys that mess around with the ice cream.
The Turkish guys.
Yo, Ine broke this guy's soul. He just grabbed it. He just grabbed the cone and
instantly.
smashed it. with his hand. So for those of you who are listening and not checking out who are not seeing my hand movements on camera right now, there's parts of Dubai where they sell Turkish ice cream, and the way they do it is they serve it on essentially like a long iron rod, kind of like a long spoon. And with that, they can present the ice cream in front of the kid, and they can flick it around, up, down, left, right. And people just like get gassed up over trying to catch it. Yeah. But within the first couple of attempts, like not only caught it, but crushed it. And inside the cone was the guy's soul. And he just, he just smashed it. And the guy was so annoyed. He was like, "You're not supposed to be so aggressive." I'm like, dude, this is part of the back and forth. It's just that this kid's been here before. And so he crushed it. And then anyway, then we had ice cream. Then we came back. Then he was watching DJing videos. Then he knocked out. And it was a pretty chill Friday, man, all things considered. Good. Yeah. What about yours, Vic?
Yeah, so we were meeting some friends, some of my old friends from a previous job. And one of the guys is like leaving to go to Marbella, to move to Marbella, to work in Web3. So it was like a little farewell drink. So me and Shayla went, my wife, and we went to Bar du Port, or Bar du Port, however you pronounce it. And it's in Dubai Harbour Pier Club, down nearby the marina.
So when you say nearby the marina, whereabouts?
So you know Barasti?
Yeah.
So if
the
you
Western.
if you pass Barasti on the right, it's like the next right from there.
Oh.
And it's down by, like, you go all the way down where all the yachts and stuff are, and then you take a right and it's like kind of inside, out on the water.
Wow.
Man, this place is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I didn't know about this place. I never knew what it was, never heard of it. My mate messaged me and said, "Oh, look, we're going to be here, so come down." So I said, "All right, cool." So we went down, and it is stunning. Like, there's a beautiful, like, inside, there was no one inside, but there's space inside. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe between 180, 210 cap inside and out capacity.
What's the split inside and out?
Probably about 65% out, maybe 70% out. It's big outside. Like, there's a lot of space. And we just sat on a long table. I haven't got any pictures or any video. We were just like hanging out. But this place is beautiful. Happy hour from 5 to 8.
Wow.
Like, beers are like 25 dirhams. It's not bad at all.
It's not
Dude,
bad.
tomorrow night, that's me and you. We'll
a
be
vibe,
working
man.
from there.
It's a
Alex.
real vibe. It's really, really nice. So anyone that's like out in that part of town or wants to like check out somewhere different, definitely go there. Like, it's really nice. The staff were great. We had a little bit of bitings, but just mostly drinks. It was amazing.
Yeah,
like,
but bitings is old Indian man's way of saying food.
Food,
just in
I
case.
got it.
Little bar snacks.
No, but it's crazy because our friend Avani went there a couple of months ago on a girls' catch-up night, and she texted me from there, and she goes, "Yo, I'm at this venue. You have to come see it. It'd be perfect for my friends, your friends." So I remember she put me onto it, and obviously Duport sounds like DuPont, the old chemicals company. So I remembered it. And so, now with 2 out of 2 good reviews for that place, I can't wait to go down there and see what's
it's amazing.
happening.
Definitely take. We'll go out one night. We'll check it out.
Did they have was outdoor wired up? Was it rigged up?
Yeah, there's music, but there was no. I can't remember if there was a DJ booth outside. I don't think so.
We do have a spot for a beach party.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Can
but
you
if I
say
say it, you
where
have to
or
mute it
no?
out.
Oh, okay, I'll mute it out.
Our friend, that guy who I met on the far right hand side of
Yeah. I can't remember
So
the name
him,
of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's offered us a place to do a beach party. So maybe we could do that. Maybe
That's
do that for
pretty
my
cool.
birthday. Might be a bit hot though. Okay, good. Then what else?
Cool. That was Friday, and then Saturday, Raj didn't attempt, actually successfully completed the obstacle course in JBR.
Oh my
AQUAFUN.
goodness.
Madness.
That was, so you heard on a previous episode that Vic went went with Ine, and so that day we were thinking about going to AQUAVENTURE, but I didn't realize that AQUAVENTURE closes so early.
What
So
time
by
does
the
it
time-
close?
6.
AQUAVENTURE in the Palm closes at 6, which makes sense
Yeah.
because I guess they just don't do all that kid stuff when it gets dark, right?
No,
People would get injured.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so I didn't realize that. So then we meet. It turns out it's too late for that. So then Ine has this great idea to go to AQUAFUN, and it was so good. It was really, really good. Basically exactly how Vic described it a few weeks ago on the show. An outdoor assault course, incredibly close to the shore, makes much easier because they give you the life jacket, so that if you do fall in, you can quickly get back. An incredible cardio workout. The next morning when I looked in the mirror, I could see the muscles in my stomach. I'd really genuinely my core had got so strong that I actually pushed some definition on my stomach. So I was quite proud of that. I feel like if I did it every day, I'd be ripped in 3 months.
It's cheaper than a PT as well.
It is cheaper than a PT.
Right.
155
Should go there every day
dirhams.
then. Go there every day.
Oh man, it's too good. We'll go tomorrow.
I can't. I wish.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
You'll be all right. You'll have the thingy on the life jacket.
Take your crutches out with you.
Yeah.
But it was
helps in the
as good
water.
as you described.
Yeah, it's amazing fun, eh? And then we went up onto the unicorn and we raced back, the three of us, and just kept slipping
all of
everywhere.
us slipped.
It's
good.
really good fun. Yeah, it's really good fun.
And on that unicorn, I climbed up on the wing of the unicorn, and then the wing, because of my weight, slowly like hit the water, and then dropped me off into the ocean. And every single time I did something stupid like that, I was full of regret, and I was full of salt water, like all in my nose, and so it wasn't too good. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. But what I did realize though is that all Gujaratis are basically people of determination. Like when we go, all of us, honestly, when you do that level of physical exercise from nowhere, you're just like, oh my God, we are like just the worst genetically. Like there are some of us that run away and become like incredibly like healthy and ripped and stuff. But just for your average like Gujarati guy, we are just not like natural athletes. And that was like mad tiring. But I'd love to do it again. You said you had a much better time
The second
time.
Yeah, because I was wearing the non-slip shoes the second time.
Oh.
Doing it with like barefoot, forget about it. Don't even bother.
Oh, my toes would get ripped off.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. And then the first time, and then with the non-slip shoes, great. And plus, then you kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know how to do some of the obstacles.
Yeah, true.
So you kind of get to it. And then after that, we had some amazing pizza, like outstanding pizza. So back on JBR,
Okay.
2 weeks before, so the night before and a week before, two people from Naples suggested this place in JBR. It's called L'Antica Pizzeria da Michele. Do you like
Nice.
it? Yeah. There you go. Now I've seen this place in JBR a lot. I just never really knew what it was, but it's this authentic Napoli pizza, and it's a franchise here and in a number of other places. And it's just this like hole in the wall in Napoli where there's like queues going all the way around.
Really?
And then they brought it to Dubai, and I think it's in a few other cities. So we said, all right, let's go check that one out. Man, that pizza was
Quality?
Unreal. And when I say big, like massive, right? Like it didn't even fit on the plate. Like huge pizzas.
If you can be bothered, you can put my picture up.
We'll do
my
it.
hand-
No.
hand over the picture.
This one I think we should do. Like,
Okay, I'll do
this,
it. I'll put it up.
Because I'd recommend this place all day long for pizzas. Not many good pizza places in Dubai in my
One
opinion.
of
No,
the
what are you
best
talking about?
in
There's not
Dubai?
many pizza places.
Yeah, there's good places
There's
in
not
Dubai.
many good, great
no,
ones.
you're
that I'm
not
like-
outside enough. If you look, let's go through where the good pizza is in Dubai right now. This place is obviously fantastic. So it's called L'Antica Pizzeria da Michele. Then you've got Akibadori.
Yeah, okay.
Then you've
fine.
got Italy. Then you've got Pitfire Pizza. Wait. This is all names that are in the mix, regardless of whether you agree with them or not. There's 4 right there. And I know that there's more than 4.
Dude, I would
Where
give
else?
800 pizzas good. I like 800 pizza.
I don't know, man.
No, but you're talking about different things. You're talking about pizzas that deliver well.
True.
I'm talking about like
that
the thin base,
thin
like
base,
goat
like
pizza.
the puffy crust.
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
see,
fair.
Italy's fallen off for me, man. When we used to come here and like to Dubai and whatever, and have Italy like 2-3 years ago, great, loved it. I went the other day, and we'll talk about Pavilion in a second. But I went like a couple of weeks ago to Pavilion, fell off. The last time I went there before that also wasn't that great. I don't think it's as good as it was. Pitfire's okay. Pitfire's good.
Let me throw Moon Slice Pizza in there as well. In
I've
Darul
not had
Wasl.
that
I've
yet.
never had it.
So there's like 5 decent joints.
that's
I think
five,
I do
like-
kind of get your point though about Italy right now, because if you told me of the pizzas, which one would I rush to if I were to have that style of pizza, Italy probably wouldn't be up there. But I'll tell you one thing, and this is as sure as night follows day. Pretty much any time you offer me Moon Slice Pizza, I will go there. That is
Where is it?
fire. Shout out to Kix, huh?
Where is it?
Darul Wasl Mall. Me and my friend Kix went one night, and she has banned me from going there with anybody else.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember.
it is so good. It's delicious. Even their pasta's incredible. Price point's amazing. Not licensed, but super duper good. We should go.
we should go,
because you're a
but-
pizza guy. You'll love it.
Yeah, I'd love it. We also talked about it on the podcast when you weren't here. So if you were listening to them,
That's
you'd
why I
know,
just
yeah.
remembered. I didn't remember the name. Once he said he went with a friend and got banned, I remembered.
Only
Hold
when
on.
I mentioned
The
Kix's name.
disrespect.
Yeah,
what
I
a
know.
pervert.
Jeez, that
What
better cut your hair. Cool. And then
Today at 6.
and then you checked out the Pavilion that I also spoke about. I think.
Yeah, so I'm probably the
couple of
last
weeks
guy in Dubai to go and check it out. But we went to the Pavilion, which is about 7 outlets.
Yeah.
Semi-indoor, semi-outdoor. Maybe we'll go there tomorrow as well. We'll go find some cool places to work from.
Man,
tomorrow,
you guys
'cause-
are going to do a tour of Dubai tomorrow when I'm in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, well, I've got to go to Dirty Ass Marina anyway
Wait,
to drop my
tomorrow's
car
Friday?
rental
Oh, yeah, of
off.
course you
do. Oh, yeah,
So
that's
that's
why
why
we're
we're
gonna
going.
go.
So we'll already be in that part of town. Also, by the way, the one thing that Ine picked up, which is a great habit last weekend, is that now he goes to me, he says like Marina, and then I go, "Tuh," and I spit on the floor, 'cause I don't know where he picked that up from, but he was like, that's our thing now. So yeah, so anyway, onto Pavilion, which, is that by Maras or is it by Emar?
I don't know. I think it's Emar.
Okay.
I don't know, to be honest.
Amazing development. But what we did realize once we went in, we had this like aha moment, which is one of the outlets in there, I forget the name of it, is like in the signage is bragging about how good its brunch is. Now imagine this, you've got an outside, all venues are like split indoor, outdoor. So all the venues are obviously in the perimeter of the building. So if you're from the inside, there's like a little mini kind of like courtyardy area inside, which is covered. And as you look around all the walls, you've got outlets, but as you walk through those restaurants, you're on the outside. So it's similar like when you're in Dubai Mall and you go to like PF Chang's or anything like that. But what I realized is if all of them do brunches, because they're all licensed, I mean, La Mezcaleria's there. So you know how those guys get down. I think that's run by like a Lebanese company that have like White and a few other businesses. I think, don't quote me. And then you've got Italy licensed. And then you've got this place that's bragging about brunch licensed. And basically what's going to happen is I think it's just going to become a massive like brunch orgy. Like everyone's going to go to all of these outlets depending on what they want to eat. And then they'll do their brunches and then they'll either convene in the middle and just have a good old time, like a town square kind of vibe, or they'll just trickle out to other places. But that Pavilion is a noticeable step forward. Like, I mean, it used to be the case that JBR, Palm, I was not a fan of these places. I thought they were all like really rubbish. But JBR's like doing its thing now. JBR's doing its thing like post Bombay Bungalow. I feel like there's some really good food options. Farm to Table, Masad Farm to Table is a great restaurant.
Still one of my favorites.
It is, isn't it?
Still absolutely. I haven't eaten there like a year and a half, 2 years, but mate, it's just outstanding.
What else is good down there in JBR?
So Bombay Bungalow you mentioned.
The a lot of people like Black Tap. I'm not the biggest fan of Black Tap.
Black Tap isn't bad. They got good
Black
milkshakes.
Tap's good, yeah, but I don't like. It's not the best.
But like just all up and down JBR. JBR's stepped up.
No, but where else? Like just to be specific.
I don't know. I've rarely.
I don't think there's that. By the way, to be clear, I don't think there's that many good restaurants on JBR.
No, there's a lot of commercial restaurants. Yeah, they've got Cheesecake Factory.
Right?
There's a lot of commercial places there because it's a big tourist space.
Yeah.
But what I think JBR just feels like more vibey. It just feels better. It feels like the people there are better as well. The type of person that goes
I don't know
there
about that.
better. No, it's better than it was a couple of years ago. 2, 3, 4
definitely
years
better
ago.
than it was a couple of years ago.
It's definitely stepped up. Just the vibe is so much nicer. And I think you're right about the Pavilion. The Pavilion is outstanding. Like I think the Pavilion is just going to be like this little hub, like you said. And Mezcaleria, they've got like they've all got upstairs areas as well.
Oh, sick.
So there's like a second floor. And the lady at Mezcaleria said to us that they're going to have they're going to start DJs.
Oh yeah.
So there's going to be like a little party vibe there as well.
Maybe we should do something down there. That's
tomorrow.
Too good.
Go there tomorrow. Another thing for you to do tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
You're every single restaurant tomorrow.
Leathered by the evening, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's super good. And also, just to your point as well, Vic, about discovering L'Antica Pizzeria de Michel, that unit was huge. So it was next to what? It was next to what? Go
Greek Kitchen.
Yeah, next door to
which
Greek
is also
Kitchen.
good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we basically had a whole bunch to eat down there. And then the next day, again, we went to AQUAVENTURE, which was just still super good, rammed. But weirdly, considering the number of people that was there, it didn't feel too long when it came to like getting on the rides.
Yeah, but we only went on like 2 rides.
Did we?
Yeah, we went on that big orange one.
Yeah.
Right, and then we went on the rapids, like the. Do you remember like we were in the?
That's the only 2 rides we did.
Yeah, we did that, and then maybe like one other. I can't remember, but like we weren't there for long because we had a commitment afterwards. So we were only there for like a few hours. But we did the big orange one that goes up, and then we went on the rapids, and the rapids took almost an hour. Because it was
really?
just it's massive, right? You go around, it's like a lazy river.
As in, whilst
thing.
you're on the rapids,
Yeah,
not
Whilst
to
you're on
shoot
the
it.
rapids, so you go around, it's like a lazy river, then you go up this like kind of, what do you call it? Like a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
You come down and you like fly off your boy, like your ring, what's that thing called? The donut?
Buoy? Donut?
Yeah,
Buoy,
it's mad. So that whole thing took like an hour or so. And then we had to leave. But like that was fun because we discovered a part of the park that we've never done before.
Narnia. Yeah, no, it's a literature joke. So think about this then. Can we find one thing out? You know, Shayla was saying that if you go to AQUAVENTURE the week of your birthday, you and everybody you're with gets half price.
Yep.
Is that that's true?
That's the offer,
okay.
yeah. So
the
the
annual pass, apparently.
is there a cap to how many people they do that for?
No idea.
Oh, if you can bring like
300 people.
just throw a massive rager.
What a rager. Because think about it, that the weekend of my birthday, which is my birthday's on 26th of June, which is a Sunday.
Yeah.
The Saturday night we'll have a party.
Mm-hmm.
But effectively, I was saying that from Friday afternoon, I want to kind of take that afternoon off. And I was like, good, and it'll be hot, whatever. But like, it could be good for some people that are not available that weekend to just meet at the water park and just have a good old time. And then in the evening, they've got a licensed outlet there, haven't they? Water something.
Yeah, so right by where they do the surfboarding, the wave house.
The Wave House, yeah.
So that's food, drinks, entertainment.
Yeah, we
like
could do that then. We
arcade,
could just
all
like
that.
do the water in the day, like and then hit up the Wave House in the evening.
Yeah.
Can you find out, Alex?
Yeah.
How many folks they let in, and then if they do, then we can go down there like ASAP.
I'm sure there's a limit. There's
Yeah.
no way you can just bring like hundreds of people.
But what about 40 people?
Don't put these barriers up, man. Be positive.
Yeah, you're just inhibiting thinking that you
I
got
hope
mean.
we can bring 500 people.
What's
Yeah.
it? Abundance and scarcity mindset,
yeah.
right?
Man, you lost your abundance in your kneecap. so okay, so we'll find out about that, and then on Sunday night we actually spread Maya's ashes. We went out to Al Qudra Lakes. We were gonna go to the two Hearts ones, but like the whole of like Uttar Pradesh was there.
Oh,
like
really?
It was like it's basically
Was it like
it was
that?
basically
Like,
India. Yeah, I don't know if people were gonna go down there. Like,
Really?
yeah, I feel like they were gonna do like a Ganges remake documentary or
So
something.
where did you
down
go
there.
instead?
We went to one of the earlier lakes.
Oh, okay.
And it was a little bit less populated. So then, yeah, we spread Maya's ashes. Actually, upon reflection, I felt like that was quite quick. I felt like I'd like to have hung out there a little bit more and done things. I kind of feel like we just drove up there, did it, and then bounced. We were only there for about 10 minutes, really. 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, doing the whole thing was about 10, 15
Yeah.
minutes.
And then we went to,
you went as well?
Yeah.
yeah. So just like the family went, and it
Yeah.
was just, it was cool. It needed to be done. And then that was that. And then after that, we went to MAISAN 15.
Yeah.
Which is near Dubai Hills. What neighborhood is that? Because it's
Barsha.
Dubai Hills.
It's in Barsha.
Yeah.
They call it Barsha. So, yeah, it's just opposite kind of Dubai Hills.
Hmm.
Really nice, man. I love that place.
Yeah, it's one of those places where like they do kind of like artisan dishes. They're not dishes that you'll get like in most places.
Yeah.
None of them are made like pre-prepared. They all feel like very much like handcrafted. Quite rich in terms of like some of the ingredients they use. Everything's kind of turned up 10 out of 10 flavor wise. But a really cool spot with like limited capacity. It's worth checking out. MAISAN and then the number 15. If you can find it, if you can be bothered to get all the way over there, it's a really unique experience here in Dubai.
Yeah, agree with that.
Nice.
The fried chicken burger. Oh, dude, you'd love the fried chicken burger. there.
Actually?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
How far is it from here?
From here, like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, like to get to like back to Dubai Hills, it's like 15 minutes. It's right next door.
Fair.
Yeah, we'll head
15,
down there one
17
day.
minutes.
But it's like it's your day's calories in one meal. Doesn't matter what meal it is, you end up getting it. You're 12,
I'm
so it
okay.
doesn't really make a difference. But you might not have been off now as quick because you've not got your
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed a bit of a difference. Just like,
what weight wise.
yeah, but that's barely anything.
Have you actually weighed on the scales how much your knee injuries cost you in terms of weight gain?
No, but it's definitely cost me muscle in my leg.
Oh wow!
Like that's 100%.
So that's out and about in Dubai. Next up,
Cool. So let's get on to some news from the week.
yeah, we're starting off today's first story on news from the week. Hyper local, hyper sad, really. Like looking at this, I was very disappointed as a customer to see this story do the rounds here in Dubai. A story about Deliveroo cutting driver wages or proposing to and increasing hours. What's the 4-on-1 on this?
Yeah, so on Sunday we actually saw that I think all of the delivery drivers basically went on strike because of proposed plans to increase hours from 9 working hours a day to 12 and to reduce their income per delivery from 10 dirhams 25 to 8 dirhams 75. Now that's a significant drop for these guys. I mean, that's huge. Plus increasing the number of hours. So, I mean, I don't know. Like,
So do we know for a fact that the delivery drivers make that full money on a per delivery basis? Is that what they earn?
yes. So that's the income per delivery is 10 dirhams 25. They were proposing to drop it to 875. Now,
Is that on top of a base salary?
no, I think it's just per delivery.
Okay, we'll have to
We'll fact check that, but
yeah.
as far as I understand, from like some people I know that work in that general industry, it's on a per delivery basis.
So a driver only earns their delivery fee, and that's their salary.
Correct. Now,
Damn.
I got to say that they're not doing it, so they've scrapped the plans to do it.
Yeah.
But regardless, even the intention to do it sucks.
Yeah, I like the fact that social media kind of lit up about this. And there's two things, there's two variables. And let's say all that to say this, which is that it doesn't matter whether they get a base salary and the delivery money, and it doesn't matter whether they're like, you know, how that delivery fee affects them. That's less important. What's more important is the general conversation around decompensating drivers that deliver food. What I think in the UK or in the last couple of years, they got categorized as essential workers.
Yeah.
These are people that ride around, ducking in and out of cars on the highway, on scooters, with food on the back. We should not be thinking in broad general terms of giving them less money and making them work longer hours. That should not be what we should be doing. And from 9 hours to 12 hours, if all this is factually correct, we're talking about a 33% increase in their hours. So we're talking about a guy typically who's running up and down the city for 12 hours on a moped.
And a 20% drop in income.
Potentially, yeah. If that's all they earn, it could be a 20% drop in income. So 33% rise in number of hours and 20% drop in income. Now, again, we don't claim that all this is true. It's not always easy to piece the exact facts together here. It's not as if like they interview drivers on the news and get the real from them. But I'm just, you know, and Deliveroo have openly said that whatever it is they were going to do, they've now reversed it. But that's a real shame, man. Actually, that's some to be doing.
Yeah,
like,
completely.
you should not be doing that.
And Deliveroo have increased their prices for delivery. It's like $8.99 for delivery now.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the thing is that you're right, they should be overcompensating these drivers.
But can I just jump in? And I don't mean to like cut you off here and say anything, but I just do feel like there's something quite dangerous in what you said there, which is you said $8.99 is ridiculous. Now you're their customer.
Yeah.
So they're putting you at the center of their world, and they're picking up on your sentiment that it's ridiculous. And then that's putting downward pressure on their costs. So actually $8.99 is not ridiculous, because we as consumers can't say that us being charged is ridiculous, but them paying less is ridiculous, because we're all tied in on the same thing. We want to pay less. They want to pay less.
Yeah. So
fair.
Here's what I was actually going to say. So $8.99 is ridiculous. They should be overcompensating their drivers. That's what I was saying.
But they might not have, with all things considered, with food costs, with how much margins their restaurants are asking for. Because I'm sure, like, if you're part of, and this is the thing about this, is that we have to, you know, we're all business people, so we have to look at it from the point of view of everybody, from the consumer, from the people involved in the execution, like the drivers, right through to the people that are working in the head office and the business analysts that work on the business, that have to make these decisions, these tough decisions. Now, I'm sure a lot of these people operate with like good intent. It was just very stupid that they actually went to market, or at least the market found out that they were trying to do this, and then there was this massive like uproar. Because even me, like for real, since I heard the news, I open up Deliveroo, and normally my default's Deliveroo, and I probably order 10 to 15 times a week on Deliveroo. But now I just started checking the other apps. And I also don't even know if the other apps are doing better. I don't know if Zomato or Talabat are actually doing a better job with their drivers. But it just gave me a little bit of a sense of like, maybe I shouldn't be giving Deliveroo all my money. And at least until they speak out and say, hey, listen, this is kind of what our thinking was. We did think about this. Clearly, they voiced it to the drivers. So it made its way out of the boardrooms and into the ears and heads of some of the people that would be affected, specifically the drivers. So it did get out of hand. This idea was allowed to run too far away. But like super, super disappointing, really. Yeah. And I think that if you ask most people that can afford Deliveroo, an extra dirham here or there doesn't make a huge difference. I mean, most Deliveroo drivers, when they come to my house, they either get a little bit of extra cash, or they get a tip on the app, or they get a bottle of water or something. It's really not an affordability issue. It's more just a case of like, just get the business to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair. So a bit of a disappointment, but I don't know. Will it change who you order from? You're not a big delivery guy, are you?
No, I usually use Talabat.
What about you, Vic?
Talabat or Deliveroo or Zomato. Depends what I want, really.
Really? I just have standard Talabat.
Yeah. Do you think that there's somebody or some, when I say somebody as in like some organization that should be monitoring that. I really feel like somebody should be monitoring that on our behalf, because we are as a city, we're just, you know, improving on a lot of things. And I feel like that's something that we should really be like, you know, like you hear about a lot of like tales of like when it comes to like the working communities here and what conditions they were in. And over decades and over now, as it feels like over years and over months, that's changing in the right direction. But these are people that literally put their life on the line. We've all seen at some point somebody laid out on the side of the road as a result of a motorbike accident, because these are the highest users of motorbikes in the city, I'm sure, by a long way. So I don't know. I just feel like, look, if you're in any of these organizations, and again, we don't claim to know the details, but this is something you need to be looking at, getting right and bragging about it. In fact, I give a shout out to our friend Ian at Freedom Pizza. I think they've changed the name of the group of businesses to Locale, but like they do a really good job of like driver safety. So like they make the driver, before they leave Freedom Pizza, when they've gone to collect your hot pizza, before they leave, all of the staff make the driver promise to drive safe. It's part of like a chant that they do when you leave the pizzeria, to put in that person's mind, like, look, you've got to deliver this pizza, and ideally we've got to get it in a certain amount of time, but don't risk your safety. And then they run ads, and they even put, I think they've done stuff like they've put on the back of the helmet like "I'm a father" or like the name of the kids, so that as a driver, because obviously a car crash happens when the driver and the motorbike try to occupy the same space at the same time under any circumstance. Even the driver looks at that person and goes, you know, this guy's doing a job, he's got to deliver, and he might have just, you know, swerved here or swerved there, but let's try and reduce the accidents. I think maybe they could do a better job, man. Like they could Freedom Pizza should be taking this opportunity right now to spread the message far and wide about what great work they've done to protect drivers.
So from what I understand, again, I don't know if this is factually correct, I've heard it, is that there is some pressure for deliveries to be delivered on time, of course.
I'm sure.
And if they're not, the driver gets penalized. And
What?
I don't know if this is factually correct.
Yeah.
So that could be something that would be adding to the pressure of the way that they ride their scooters. Because, you know, why would they want to, like, obviously they don't want to get docked any money on a delivery, considering how low they're getting paid anyway. So maybe there's that as well. But look, I think some kind of regulation will come about from this. And as you quite rightly said, there is a lot more kind of protection for, you know, lower income wage workers in terms of, you know, how they're protected, minimum payments, insurance, and, you know, there's lots of stuff coming in. And I think that will just continue to be the case.
Just raising, I mean, all societies have people that are less fortunate and more fortunate. But I think what Dubai's doing well at the moment, and it's the slowest journey that any country can go on, is raising the floor, the base standard for people that are in those situations. And it's not going to happen overnight, but it's, you know, what doesn't help is when stuff like this gets out, because this is just like the dark side of capitalism. Do you know what I mean? Because these are companies that still need to be, you know, that still need to declare profits to somebody or another. All right, next up.
Okay, so an interesting story came about yesterday where Mr. Dave Chappelle
Was attacked.
Gets attacked on stage at the Hollywood Bowl.
Rugby tackled by a member of the audience, it seems like, who managed to get up on stage. Give us fill in the blanks for us here, Vic.
Yeah, so Dave Chappelle was on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. It was for Netflix as a joke.
Oh, was it part of that? So
it was part of Netflix.
Netflix is doing a big activation in LA at the moment. I think Russell's part of it as well, like Russell Peters. They've managed to loop in a lot of the big acts. And it's not one night, is it? It's a series of nights.
It's a series of nights not highlighting, but like with a bunch of comedians. And so Dave Chappelle was on stage, and this guy just jumped up, and apparently he was armed. He had a knife and basically rugby tackled him. I think Chappelle looks like, from the video, it's a bit grainy and a bit like blurry, but it looks like he stood his ground. And then the guy ran off, and the security chased him and took him backstage and gave him a good talking to.
They from what I understand, and this is what the social media is saying, is that they beat this guy pretty bad. You know, like this is and of course, like, you know, Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. Like he's the guy that should be protected at all costs, because after so many years in the industry, as a result of his comedy and his outspokenness, he's been able to unknot some of the difficult knots that are in, you know, the culture in the US at the moment. But independent of all that, I mean, it's still an act of physical violence. It's got elements of what we saw happen with, you know, Will Smith and Chris Rock. But the fact that this dude was actually even able to get up on stage, I mean, these are not small stages.
Nope.
No,
it's not
not
as if the stage is like the size of this dining room table. You know what I mean? Like, there's a long, you're on that stage for at least 2 seconds just running at the dude. You know what I mean? Or maybe 2 seconds, whatever. But like the fact that he actually managed to get in there and do that. And Dave Chappelle is not rolling with guys, I'm sure, that play around.
No.
So they gave this dude the business. But and probably what's different about how we discuss it today versus how we discuss it in the past. Because there's part of me, of course, the hood part of me is like, yeah, F that guy up. Like, do you know what I mean? He shouldn't do that. Like, Dave Chappelle's from our culture. We don't want to see anything bad happen to him. But then at the same time as well, like, this guy clearly is not going to be mentally well. Like, there's no mentally level person who thinks that I'm going to go up on a stage like that and attack a man.
It's
How do we balance that?
well, basically, anytime Dave Chappelle is on stage, it's essentially the biggest stage in comedy, whether it be literally in a club or in the Hollywood Bowl. So it is the biggest stage in comedy. So no mentally sane person could go, yeah, this is a good thing to do. Now, what actually baffles me the most is how he was able to get into the Hollywood Bowl. Now, assuming these rumors are true, with a knife, and then get up on stage with that knife and rugby tackle Dave. Like, how on earth is that even possible? Is there not security at the stage? I'm not like having a dig at the security or anything at all. I'm just trying to kind of figure out logistically how it's even possible. I don't know the answer to that, but he managed to do it. But yeah, look, you know, I think there is a reaction. And look, even Dave Chappelle afterwards, he comes back on stage. Jamie Foxx is there. Chris Rock is there. Jamie Foxx says what you said. He said, we need to protect this guy at all costs. Like, this is someone that...
Protect Dave Chappelle.
Protect Dave Chappelle, sorry, yeah, not the other guy. Chris Rock comes and goes, was that Will Smith? He says that. But Dave Chappelle comes back on to the mic. He goes backstage, comes back, he goes, I've been doing this for 37 years, and I just stomped a guy backstage. He said those words. I'll find the clip, and if I can find it, we'll put it up.
Yeah.
But
no, he said he's backstage getting stomped out. Isn't that what he said?
No, he said, I've been doing this for 37 years.
Wow.
And I just stomped a guy backstage.
Wow.
So he got involved.
Wow.
And here's the thing. He'll probably get a pass, right? Because it's Dave Chappelle and he got attacked.
Yeah, I mean, he'll definitely get a pass. Yeah.
From everyone.
Like,
no one's going to look at Dave and go, he shouldn't have done that. And no one's going to think I'm sure a lot of people are thinking the security shouldn't have done that. But not Dave Chappelle. Like, they'll give him the pass.
No, I mean, but this is also like hood rules as well.
Yeah, it's
like
exactly
you got to bear in mind, like this guy presented clear and present danger in the eyes of the law.
Yeah.
And he just did some stuff that you took his life into his own hands. I mean, and even if Dave Chappelle didn't have security, you don't want to get stomped out by Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
like, you know what I
No,
mean?
well,
Like,
exactly.
any of the homies that are around.
Well, maybe Chris Rock could be fine. But
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind
joking.
under normal circumstances.
Chris, if you're listening, I'm joking. Yeah.
But Chris Rock's probably got a lot of pent up frustration anyway.
I'm
He's
sure
like,
he has.
he'll give this guy the Will Smith package. You know what I mean?
But you know, it does come back to that point, like, you know, why, right? So what triggered that guy to, because I don't think it was like a momentary thing. This must have been like pent up. Like, maybe there's like some jokes that Dave Chappelle has said or some commentary that Dave Chappelle has had previously, and this guy's like taken some offense to it, because it's not like this guy's gone in there and just on a whim gone, let me just go and rush Dave Chappelle on stage and have a knife in his pocket, if that rumor is true. It's not done on a whim. So this is something that I think is pent up and is like built up over time.
Or it's just straight up mental illness. Maybe he just got annoyed by not having an ice cream that day and just went crazy. Like, we don't know, right?
Maybe,
but I mean, fair.
I guess
I wouldn't think of that like out of anything that would have happened.
But the thing is, if there's a mind that's not working and you go inside that mind, the inversion that exists inside a mind that doesn't think like ours, like no matter what happens, because we're sane people, we apply sane frameworks to it. But inside this head, he might have just thought, I want to be a unicorn and he's a wall and I just want to push through the wall. Like, it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be a voice in his head who told him, now. You know what I mean? There are certain psychological
Fair.
conditions
It
that
could
are
be.
like, he meant you, by the way, go teach him a lesson. Then he goes up on stage and tries to teach Dave Chappelle a lesson. It could be anything.
It could be either of those things. I guess if I was to form an opinion on it, which I'm not qualified to do, I feel like it could be something that's pent up. But when you look at the pictures of the guy afterwards, you're also like, yeah, maybe it could just be he felt he was a unicorn because he's got like painted nails and you know, like, just kind of like a different look about him. But who's to judge? And
yeah, he's a quirky guy, and he, considering how badly they smashed him up. I mean, if you do choose to go online and see him getting put into an ambulance on a stretcher, his arm is handcuffed to the side of it, and as he raises his arm up, it's going at an angle that I've not seen since like version 1 Tetris. Do you know what I mean? Like his arm is like all messed up. So anyway, listen, all things considered, super glad that Dave Chappelle and all the other folks are well. It could have easily gone another way. Somebody who is, you know, more sane with more of a agenda might have been able to finish the job. You know what I mean? Whatever that job might be. So we're glad that he got away unscathed, and hopefully the guy that did this will have full justice served to him and whatnot. There have been some articles right now about, I think, a $30,000 bond and a few other bits and pieces,
I saw
or
that.
bail or something like that. But or 300,000. I can't remember what it was, but it's, you know, hopefully everybody involved will just move on. And of course, there's going to be an insane amount of jokes coming out off the back.
there's
of
already
this.
so many memes coming out.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, there's one. Mad Skills has been putting it up. Have you seen it?
Yeah, everyone says that Mad Skills did it.
No, it looks like Mad Skills when Mad Skills was younger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's saying it's Mad Skills that did it.
It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
That is so funny. And like he's obviously taken it as a joke because he's reposting all of these. And that's really funny. But there's a lot of memes coming out.
It is shocking. It's more shocking than the Oscars, because Oscars you expect like, you know, like civil society and that kind of things.
Yeah.
But I've been to one of Dave's shows. I've partied with him afterwards at the Juke Joint, which is a private event that he does afterwards. Security is real. Like at the event,
full on.
dude. At the event, I can't remember if they did or if they didn't, but I think they gave us a sealable bag to put our phones in.
Really?
Like, security is real. Yeah, you really get tapped down. So I don't know how this guy did it. I mean, the reality is, if he had an agenda, he could have gone in there 2 weeks before and hidden something inside a toilet. You see these
that's
Hollywood
also true.
movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Well, a good amount of time on that one. Next up, big news coming out of the 6.
Yeah, so Drake re-signs with Universal for $400 million. Now, the
My number one question is, did he sign with Universal as a free agent or Universal Cash Money? Because it sounds to me like he's out of the Cash Money deal, especially if there's $400 million on the table.
That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't been able to verify that. What I do know, it's a multifaceted deal covering recordings, publishing, merchandise, and visual media projects.
Is that like music videos and all of that?
See, this is the thing. I think me and you have spoken about this before. I don't think, and people don't necessarily agree with me on this, but I don't think Drake's career started yet. Because Drake taking all of his star power and his actual ability to act and poke fun at himself. Drake is the kind of rapper who can really, really rap, can really, really be on the level of like an SNL sketch and poke fun at himself, which he does do in many videos. But when Drake gets offered a development deal on par with Fast and the Furious, that's going to produce billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And we're talking about action figures. We're talking about sticker books. We're talking about T-shirts and merch.
Yeah.
We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people having Drake's character in a movie wrapped up under their Christmas tree in 2 or 3 years. So for me, 400 million still seems like a bit of a good deal. And remember, if Universal have given this dude $400 million, they're looking for a multiple on that, which means that they see a value in the deal of, let's say, 5 times that. So now we're talking about a deal that could be worth $2 billion at a top line, of which his slice is 400 M's. It was Lucian Grange, right, that announced it?
Yeah.
On a call with, was it
in
an
the
earnings call?
earnings call. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, incredible. And Drake has spoken in the past as well about, like, if you see the checks that Lucian gives me, or like I made $360 million on something else. So I guess he was probably indicating more towards this. Biggest deal I've seen come from a rapper. I've seen some M&A deals like Vitamin Water with 50.
and all that, yeah.
I think Jay-Z did 170 million off Rockaware, if I'm not mistaken. But then again, that was divided amongst a bunch of people.
But this is a straight record deal. Like it's not a brand.
No, it was
deal.
recording and what else?
So it's recordings, publishing, merchandise, and visual media projects. So I guess my point being is it's not a brand deal, like it's not a product or anything like that.
Merch
right?
and visual.
Visual media projects, yeah.
It's a 360 deal.
Yeah. But I guess
touring?
it doesn't say touring in here.
Okay.
But we don't know the full
It
details
could be,
yet.
yeah.
But I guess my point being is it's not like associated to like a product like Beats or Vitamin Water or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a 360 record deal.
Mm.
So yeah, on its own volition, then yeah, probably the biggest one I've seen.
I've not seen anything as big as this.
No,
It's massive.
but here's the thing: you talk about the movies and stuff. Yeah, maybe. I think TV more than movie.
Yeah, I don't see Drake going into movies.
Movies, I don't know, but I feel like he hasn't got the same kind of, he's like, if you think about Fast and Furious and Vin Diesel and The Rock and even Ludacris, he's part of that franchise. They've got more kind of staying power in movies. I think he's going to get more like an LL Cool J style or Ice-T style TV deal.
Hell no.
No, not in a crime show. I'm just saying they've got TV deals. He's going to get TV over movie. That's what I believe. TV franchise or TV series over movie. I believe that.
Okay, well, how many of these TV series are able to spin out like super important merch and stuff like that? If this is a merch deal, merch typically trickles down more from like theatrical releases.
Yeah, but that whole landscape is changing, man. That whole landscape is changing.
But it also doesn't mean he has to be a star in a big movie.
True.
He can just be in a big movie and not be like the main character.
But right now, the only big movie franchises, aside from like Fast and Furious and things like that, is the Marvel universe, right? There's no other like massive franchises that are spitting out this many movies, this many stars, this much merchandise, this many cinema tickets sold. There's just not enough of it yet. And I don't think that's going to massively change. It's not going to go back to what it was. Like, to come out with a massive movie franchise right now, I just don't, like, starting from scratch, literally from the beginning. He'd have to, or if he joins Fast and Furious or something like that, maybe. But he's not going to join Fast and Furious. He's not going to join Marvel. I don't know what else there is in terms of movies.
And Fast and Furious is over anyway.
The other thing he might do, you know what he might actually do? Sorry, I'm thinking about him being an actor in a movie franchise, right?
Yeah.
I think he's more suited to TV. That's my personal opinion. What he might actually do is start voicing animation. And
I could see that.
In animation franchises or something like that. That's probably where his movie.
Like, what is it? Like The Rock doing?
But wait. Think about it this way.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me reverse engineer it this way, right? This is based on like how you see it and what, like, let's say in conversation with him, how you would say, okay, I'd see you going here, here, and here. But let me just paint the picture for you. Between Universal tomorrow picks up the Die Hard series, the way that Amazon picked up James Bond. Mm-hmm. And they say, we're going to remake Die Hard. It's going to come online from mid-2024. They start talking about it right now, 2022. Not uncommon to have a 2-year hype cycle. And the role of Bruce Willis will be played by Drake. Mm-hmm. Those theaters are going to be full. It's just like, because I would agree with you if we couldn't imagine a scenario that I just painted. But that scenario I just painted could 100% happen. He could be ripped. He could be the equivalent of, the Die Hard main character, but with NFTs and mobile phones and all the other things that exist in a like 2022 world onwards. And he could 100% be that. I'm not saying that he couldn't do TV, but I just feel like him going into, like, what's going to happen? He just becomes another selectable image on Netflix for one of his shows in a world where Netflix is spending $40 to $50 for every $1 it earns on subscriptions. I just don't think that's the move.
But I don't think there's going to be a franchise like that, Die Hard or any other.
Between now and the day you die, you don't see at least 5 more life-changing franchises when in your lifetime you've had the Marvel universe, you've had Lord of the Rings, you've had Harry Potter and
but in my lifetime, going to the movies was everything. Streaming didn't exist. Netflix didn't exist. Everything was put into blockbuster movies. Hollywood was a different place completely. Hollywood puts more on Euphoria TV stars than it does on the movie stars. Like, it brings them up more. Like, they're the darlings of Hollywood now. I don't see a world where, I'm not saying there won't be new franchises. I'm not saying that, we'll never see franchises ever again. But I don't think it's going to be the same level of interest or popularity or even number of tickets sold, cinema tickets sold. There'll be merchandise and all that kind of stuff, but I just don't think movie franchises like they were are going to exist in the same way in the future. There will be some, but just not in the same way. Marvel's basically taken over that whole world. Like for the next 4 years, every few months there's a Marvel movie coming out. But with Drake specifically, when I was, as we're talking it out, I think TV is a really important place for him to be in this world. But I think animation's gonna, I really think animation is going to be something where he's going to go. His voice, he's got, it's a recognizable voice. So, Super Pets, we just mentioned it now. Kevin Hart and The Rock are in Super Pets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two of the most recognizable voices in Hollywood. You can't, you know who they are specifically when you hear their voices. And I think Drake can find a lane in that. Now, it might not be in, it might be like a Sonic, like Sonic the Hedgehog has a couple of, episodes out or whatever, in the franchise, and it will continue to do that.
On TV?
No, movies.
I mean, Sonic's trash.
So you got Jim Carrey as the character, as one of the characters, like a human character. But you got Nick Kroll, I think, does the voice of Sonic. But you're just going to have, and lots of people just do the rounds in animation. Steve Carell in Despicable Me, those kind of things. I think that's where Drake's going to find a niche. I genuinely do. Let's see.
So let's look at the top grossing movies North America, domestic sales. Last year, you're right. Marvel has a lot of it. Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi was all right. I went to see that. Venom looks rubbish. Black Widow not seen. And then you got F9, Fast and Furious, the Fast Saga. Eternals, No Time to Die, James Bond franchise, A Quiet Place Part 2, never heard of it. Ghostbusters could have, I don't know. I still stick with it. I think they could just pick up Die Hard, be like, we're going to bring that back, fully upgraded, or bringing in Drake as like a Jason Bourne or something like that. I just feel like it would happen.
I don't think so.
They won't. They can't remake. And listen, if they brought back Jason Bourne or Die Hard and they put Drake in the title character role, fine, maybe that might happen. But it's not going to be a big franchise. There's no. You can't tell me one franchise in the last 4 years, and I can't do it off the top of my head. So I'm challenging you looking at Google. But Ghostbusters came back, and what? There was two Ghostbusters remakes.
Didn't they shift that though? All the Ghostbusters
to
were
women,
female.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the same longevity, the same lasting power. Remakes start to become like novelties now. Forget Ghostbusters and all women. I think that's a good thing, but just a remake of a old franchise just starts to become a novelty. It's not going to be able to pull out 4 movies. 3, 4, 5 movies, whatever it is. It's not going to be enough. Even going back as far as Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, that one came out a number of years after the first lot, flopped. I'm sure it did relatively well in the box office, but against the previous ones, it basically flopped. It wasn't critically well acclaimed, and it wasn't even a good movie. But you get my point.
I think that's the problem. That's the problem. I think Drake has the data and the insights and the team to put something together. He's gone into so many verticals, whether it be clothing. He's got his own cinemas. God knows, not his own cinemas. He's got his own festivals. God knows how much direct access he's got to his consumers. What hype cycle he can go on. There's no media outlet that won't take an interview from Drake when it comes to pumping his movie. If the product's good, he can push it through the roof. We're talking about franchises. He could just do a one and done, 50 did. 50 had Get Rich, Eminem had 8 Mile. Yeah. He could just do that, and these guys know how much money that could generate, how that could just shift culture for 20 years, like M's movie did.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. That's what I was saying. Doing a movie or coming up in a movie, whether it be the starring role, or not the starring role, as you said, whatever it is, I don't disagree with that. But when you mention franchise, movie franchise, I just don't think that's going to be the case. Live action movie franchises, I don't think that's going to be a thing for him. I think TV and animation, and if it's movies, it's going to be animation. I genuinely believe that. I think as we're talking about it, I'm thinking
as
about
just
it.
A voice.
As a voice,
I could see that. I could see
and
that.
it might not even be. It might not even be a animation franchise. It could just be he's the voice of a whole bunch of different characters. And a whole bunch of different animations.
Guys, his demo is already in its 30s or entering. His sweet spot white hot demo is entering its 30s. So if he releases a movie like 50 Shades of Grey, where he's the even, we're talking about action, Drake's not known for that.
No.
For being a bad man in the traditional sense.
If he
He's
did
known-
rom-coms,
he could go. I mean, how great would he be in an Owen Wilson style movie where he's prepared to
but I'm not saying
self-deprecate?
he won't do movies. I'm saying he won't. It won't be like you were talking specifically about like franchise, like a Fast 9 style or a Die Hard style.
Oh,
I just don't think that's
he
going to
could
be
be
the
George
case.
Clooney in Ocean's 11, whatever the equivalent of Ocean's 11 is.
But there won't be another franchise like
Yeah.
that. I just don't believe that,
Super.
regardless of who it is.
Yeah,
in
no,
it.
I don't think it'd be like
Look,
that.
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and it's on record. But like, this is something I genuinely look. That's just the way I see it.
I see him just doing a
But
one-off
I'm not seeing
movie.
it specifically. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
I'm
no,
not
it's
seeing.
fine,
I'm
it's
not
fine.
saying it specifically from Drake as an individual and as a talent. I'm saying like the movie industry won't allow that. It's changed so much. What was the last big franchise that was launched brand new in the last 5 years? I don't know. We'd have to look at it. But
I can't
anything
think of one.
significant that's got staying power until now? No. Marvel's been around for forever. Fast and Furious has been around forever. Name another franchise.
I
I don't
But
know.
like I'm just like I'm not saying that to be facetious. I'm saying
Yeah,
like there
yeah,
might be
yeah.
like one or two that have slipped in that I've forgotten about. Bond has been there forever. You know, like
Mhm.
you see my point. But nothing that has brand new started. Why? Because everyone's focus is on how to build out streaming and TV series. And animation is the other thing because of like cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
true.
Hollywood, you know, they're not putting the money into movies like they were.
Yeah.
They're like making safe bets like Marvel and Fast and Furious. Anyway,
Let's see.
we
let's see.
went pretty long on that, but like it was a good debate. But I think
Only
that's what I
time
think.
will tell.
Only time will tell.
We need to call up Julian Little X at some point and say to him, no giveaways, but could this happen? Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And see what he says. We'll do that at some point. I'm going to message. I'll send him this video. Okay. Next up on News from the Week.
This is one.
Oh,
this
by
one's-
the way, just sorry to wrap on the Drake bit. I wrote this in the group chat earlier on, which is that, you know, you've got all these artists that are going towards like independence, right?
Mhm.
Being independent. And as whatever happens, something happens, which is the polar opposite, an extreme version of the polar opposite. And that's the counterculture moment. And as much as like United Masters is pushing becoming independent, if you then look at the other side of the spectrum, you get moments like this. Now, I don't think many people can replicate what Drake's done here. 400 million is crazy. But as opposed to being independent, the opposite of independent is codependent. And so these guys have entered, you know, Universal and Drake have entered a codependent deal, a hyper codependent deal, which not everyone's going to have access to. But I think it's going to be a tee up for things that we've never seen. I think all of the stakeholders here, Drake, OVO, his whole team, Universal, Lucian Grange, Jimmy Iovine, all these guys, they dictate culture. As much as we can sit here and say, well, based on historical data, this is what we think is going to happen, but they actually dictate what the future is. So yeah, well, let's leave it at that. I'm glad that we've got it all on record, and we'll see how it plays out.
So
Next.
just before you go next, just the last thing on what you just said. Do you mean that from signed to record labels to being independent is going to kind of basically come back? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Or
I
a
say
variation of it.
no. I'm saying that there's been a massive move towards direct to consumer and independent artists, and as that gains more and more momentum, and it's obviously a low barrier to entry to a lot of people. The other side of the spectrum, you'll have these little moments that are like, they're not going to be, you know, 100 million artists can go independent tomorrow.
Yep.
But for every 100 million artists that goes independent, somebody will do a codependent deal like Drake.
Got it.
That will be so aggressive that it's like the impact of 100,000 going independent. This one deal is like a hyper codependent deal. Okay, next up, news from the week.
So my friends, your friends, we've finally announced a co-host.
Yeah, man, it came together pretty quickly. So super exciting about My Friends, Your Friends. Head over to myfriendsyourfriends.com right now. Check out the co-hosts we have. Varsha Vin, super talented singer-songwriter who I've hung out with many times. She's super dope. Shayla Majarius, somebody's wife.
Don't know who's that.
Yeah. Vic's wife has agreed to jump on, which is amazing because she's not been to that many My Friends, Your Friends.
No, I think only one.
It's going to be great to have her as a co-host. She's got so much experience in the tech industry and exec search. So come talk to her about that. Our friend Emmanuel Bonham, who is founder of L Active, super content creator online, had billboards around the city with Adidas, right?
Yeah, correct.
Killing it. Sheena Kotecha, one of our friends from back in Manchester, heads up operations at Gallagher and DIFC. Laura Santos, good friend of mine who I met working in the social media scene. She's the founder of Hands on Social. Patchouli, great DJ. Shame we don't really do a DJ kind of vibe on this kind of night, but she's an awesome DJ. She'll be out and about. She knows her music inside out, and she's just super cool. Pooja Tiwari, who you've seen, she used to work for us here at Creative Content Agency. She's now an NFT artist, and she is going to be coming along. It was her artwork that was at Love Soul at Papa. Sharon Thomas, friend of mine, a pilot for Fly Dubai. Super interested to hear more about her. Priyalanta Tuba has produced some of the coolest music videos I've seen in this region with artists, and she's just one of those girls that every time I see her, she's doing something, and I always catch a vibe with her. We always see each other in coffee shops every 6 to 8 months, so it'd be nice to get to spend a bit of time with her. Deborah Stucco, explain what she's done in your life.
Yeah, she's actually made a big difference in my life. She's my CrossFit instructor, so I'm at CrossFit every day pretty much, 4 days a week, and she's the trainer at Warehouse Gym for me, and she also has her own clothing line called Original Culprit.
She looks like she could crush your head with one hand.
She's tried many times.
Yeah,
when I don't do the push-ups.
She looks like a superhuman. Yeah. That's goals. Okay, Catherine O'Farrell, great person. Her story goes back super far. She's from Ireland. She has done so much great work in terms of, I don't even know how we explain what she's done, but she's worked with like underrepresented communities in the labor force to bring them more and more opportunities. She's one of the most known people in education over here, so come and talk to her. Jessica De Silva Dent, one of our former clients who we work with, just incredibly super smart account manager for United SEO, a top SEO company here in the city. We loved working with her. Raluca Kripenshi, who's incredible yoga. She works in the yoga space and real estate out here, always puts out dope content. And what a catch, Maria Concia Sao, who has been working, she has her own charity. She has been working for years and years and years in Bangladesh, bringing people out of the most extreme, unfortunate situations. She is called mother by hundreds of kids for the work that she's done. She's a genuine soul. She's done back-to-back mountain climbs. She's got so many Guinness World Records. She's an author. She's just an absolute force of nature. And when you talk to her, you're just like, man, this person, just her heart is connected to the causes that she does. So to have her in the room and be able to introduce our community to her is just a huge blessing. So we're very grateful to her for taking a couple of hours to come and join us at My Friends, Your Friends, Wednesday, the 11th of May from 6 p.m. at Glow, the IFC, which back then, 5 years ago, was called Dusty's. And we're going to go back there to recreate that very special night with just a couple of hundred people. Guest list is packing up hugely right now. And it's going to be, we're going to have another magical night in the same venue. First drink is on the house. Of course, entry is free, and there'll be happy hour all night. So come and hang out with us. We're going to have a great bunch of people in the room.
Alex's first one.
Yeah, my first My Friends, Your Friends.
Cool.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
What are your expectations?
I don't know, honestly. Because, I've only seen, like, the videos and, like, you've spoken about it, but, like...
It's one of our biggest things.
Yeah, but I also don't know what my role will be when I'm there, you know? So, I'm not going to be
that
there.
Stupid Lecky. What are we going to do?
It should have been doing all the camera work.
Right? But that's why. I might still be able to do some. So, it's going to be like...
Even I'm going to say you don't need to do that. Even me, I'm saying you don't need to do that.
You could do the door.
You could do the door. Yeah,
I
you could
could.
sit down. Yeah, that could help.
Yeah, we could do that, but then
we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. But I'm excited for you to see it as well.
No, I'm
especially
excited,
because as we're at the end of season now, we're all going to be kind of like going our separate ways from June onwards, and so it's a really good way to end the season.
Yeah.
And I'll say this: if you've never been to a My Friends, Your Friends, like you've not experienced the full Dubai experience unless you've been to a My Friends, Your Friends. It's going to be so incredible, this 5th birthday one. Next up, so that's a quick overview on the co-host. Next up.
So we want to give some more details around the workshop.
Yeah, let me give some details on that. Yeah. So what we decided to do, because we're simultaneously launching our boot camp in June, which is a creative content agency boot camp, a number of sessions on Zoom every week where we help you figure out what podcasts and videos you should be putting together to reach your business goals and build out a really solid content strategy. We have a number of different strategies that we teach and have executed in our agency, but they all come from our main philosophy, our framework, the 4 P's of content: plan, produce, publish, promote. So we're launching this boot camp. To kick it all off, we're going to have an in-person workshop. We gave people the option when they sign up from My Friends, Your Friends, if they'd like to come along. 80% of people have said yes. It's going to be incredible. We'll be announcing the venue in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Have we got anything else to say on that?
No, that's it. Just keep an eye out. Anyone that's interested, just reach out to us, and we can give you more details.
If you listen to the podcast and you're not part of the My Friends, Your Friends community, then send me or Vic a message on our Instagram and we will just send you a direct link to sign up.
Cool.
Cool. Next.
We got some content recommendations.
Yeah. First up. Well, hang on. Have you guys got any content recommendations?
No, I don't have any.
You guys are whack.
I got one.
What? Let's start with you. Alex is doing this only because you've not got any.
Yeah.
No. What?
Yeah.
No.
The competition has started again.
I watched yesterday GARYVEE on Impulsive. With with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because a lot of
Is it new?
Yeah, it just came out I think like 2 days ago, 1 day ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's interesting because a lot of the GARYVEE podcasts you see, it's like a lot of people asking him about like what NFTs are and stuff. But like Logan and his friends are already in that space. Like Logan has his own NFT project and all of that. So like they already all know the dynamic of what an NFT is. They don't need to like talk about the small stuff. So it's good.
What did they talk about that you thought was really good? Any like highlights?
I think it was very interesting knowing when Logan and Gary first met. Logan was like 15,000 followers on Vine, like when he was like young, like before 18.
Wow.
Like a long time ago, and I had no idea about that. So their journey started a long time ago.
Was it a classic like Gary reached out and said, "Yo, I see you" moment?
It was no. GaryVee was launching. You could like you had to email him and like you'd be able to like meet GaryVee and all of that. And then he just had signed up when he was younger, and then he's the one who got the email back.
So Logan just said, "I want to meet you, GaryVee," and managed to get through to him.
Yeah, I mean, there was a contest for like a bunch of people on Vine to like GaryVee wanted to find the next superstar for Vine. And so a bunch of people like signed up to like be able to speak to Gary about that, and Logan was selected.
You know, Gary had like a Vine agency back in the day.
Yeah,
a micro content video agency.
Yeah.
He went in on that. This was like in the early days, like the nerdy days.
And boy, was he right about Logan, eh?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like crazy. Like Logan was nothing back then. Now huge controversy after like his YouTube and all of that. Yeah. Huge comeback with fighting Floyd Mayweather. His podcast is blowing up. It's good.
Good. It's a long game. It's definitely a long game.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Nice. For me, I would recommend, and again, these links will be in the show notes on YouTube and on the podcast, but Naval has just put out a new video, Naval Ravikant, on his YouTube channel. The title of the video is "Let Us Not Talk Falsely Now." It's a kind of Q&A, office hours, drop in, drop out. Of course, with Naval, it's packed full of useful information. My big takeaway, and I wish I could have brought it up and had it ready for the show, but I haven't. But because I was like originally like sitting in the bath when I listened to it, is that he said that a sign of intelligence is being able to live the life you want, which is incredible because it's not necessarily tied into a macro theme of what a good life is, but the life that you've chosen. And it's made up of two parts. One, it's the ability to identify what that life is, and then it's the ability to go and get it. And so intelligence is recognizing what life you want and then having the given skills, the God-given skills, to apply yourself to go and make yourself get to that life. So I thought that was really incredible. Obviously, I really like these kind of things because they kind of force you to be like, damn, where am I in that scale? Do you know what I mean? And a statement like that sticks with you for a long time. It becomes like an operating system update in your mind. So I really, really like that. Go check that out. Next up, oh man, this has made a lot of controversy online. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger had the Berkshire Hathaway annual conference, and I'm just going to play you what I thought was the illest part of it. Oh, that's Naval. Sorry, guys. We're not going to edit it out. We're just going to keep it moving.
My question is, if you had to pick one stock to bet on...
You kind of snuck up on us there for a second.
and be resilient in the inflation, which would you choose? And what specifically enables that stock to do very well and might very likely be a difficult market?
Well, I'll tell you something even better than that one stock. Maybe we'll get to one stock, but the best thing you can do is to be exceptionally good at something. If you're the best doctor in town, if you're the best lawyer in town, if you're the best whatever it may be, no matter whether people are paying you with $1 zillion or paying it, they're going to give you some of what they produce in exchange for what you deliver. And if you've got it, and if you're the one they pick out to do any particular activity, sing or play baseball or be their lawyer, whatever it may be, whatever abilities you have can't be taken away from you. They can't actually be inflated away from you. Somebody else will give you some of the wheat they produce or the cotton or whatever it may be, and they will trade you for the skill you have. So the best investment by far is anything that develops yourself. And again, not taxed. So that's what I would do.
So yeah, I really like that. I think that's super simple. And as we go into a recession, I think that's really good advice as well, which is like, and in Naval, just to triangulate the two, there's a whole bit where Naval talks about like life is a single player game. And so it's at times like this where like, yeah, of course, you can cluster up and you can have like your company give you like some sort of protection and shelter, but ultimately it's about like at an individual basis, how inoculated are you against economic conditions? So really, really good. Definitely go and check both of them out. I like these kind of nerdy podcasts. This is how I spend my days and my weeks. And then, so you got Gary on here. Oh, that's what you already spoke about.
Yeah.
Nothing you've seen, Last Chance?
No.
At all, the whole week?
Nothing I can recommend.
Even in TV?
No. I've like this whole week, literally, I've not.
Slammed.
It's been mad. Like, I don't even know how you get the time. Like, to be
Yeah.
fair. Because like literally,
Yeah,
I just
you
don't. I
have
don't
no
train
idea.
5 times a week like you do. That's
like,
the
well,
thing.
well, 4
Yeah.
times.
true.
Yeah.
I got the training, and then obviously I got the family, right? But but just these last 2 weeks has just been too
Savage.
busy, man. Like
Yeah.
it's been madness. So I've really not consumed the right content to be able to recommend. I'm still listening to some podcasts like group chat and all that kind of stuff just to stay on top of stuff, but not anything I want to recommend.
Did you manage to check out Brian Armstrong on All In?
Still haven't been able to do that.
Okay, I think that then, yeah, I mean, the way I do it is obviously like I just have constant noise on at all times. So from the second I wake up, a podcast goes on. It's with me all the way through my walk till I come back. So yeah, I mean, I just have like that. There's really no quiet time.
fair
I'm just
enough.
like pounding my head full of information all the time.
Yeah.
Which isn't good because I think that's probably affecting my sleep and stuff. There's a lot of,
Definitely.
yeah, man, it's bad. But it's really weird as well. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are like pushing this like lifestyle thing about like, make sure you go to bed at this time and no screen for 1 hour before like this, and make sure you like soak your oats, and then when you wake up in the morning, remove the skin from your almonds and blend them with some chia seeds. And I'm like, shut the up, man. Like, I got to do. I haven't got time for that.
You don't need to be that extreme, but I think in the long term, like sleeping on time and like not necessarily at a certain time, but a certain amount of hours can help you in the long term.
I know, but I feel like, I mean, it's like people are just pumping that.
Yeah,
hardcore.
No, I agree.
And it's just
too
not everyone's
much.
truth.
I agree. Yeah.
I agree. Like, in the sense that I feel like this is good advice. You should definitely try and get more sleep. You should definitely do all of these things. But like, I mean, come on, like.
But also, you just got to figure out what you can do and how much you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't
What
do
you can
everything.
do, yeah.
Because if you sit there like blending almonds and doing this and that and the other, you're not gonna do anything else.
I agree.
You're not. You're just
So-
going to be slammed all the time
Yeah.
trying to chase this kind of like ideal lifestyle of like some Instagram couples.
Yeah.
It's like, do what you can, and then do better as soon as you can do better.
Yeah.
But don't
Yeah.
chase this like idyllic lifestyle of like, you see people wake up in the morning and go, yeah, I wake up and then I journal and then I breathe, and I'm just like, yeah, all right, cool. But if you're really, really out here in the streets, you don't got time for all that shit. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
mean-
You do have time and you should make time, but do the best you can do.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you can, do better.
Yeah.
But like I've been seeing a lot of this content online, and I just feel like people need to armor up now. It's time to get the strap, and like, because economic conditions are about to get crazy.
Yep.
And like, you just got to get that dough. Like, do you know what I mean? Sorry to like, I don't know. I'm sure I can already imagine a handful of people being
Yeah,
like, no,
I'm
you shouldn't be
sure.
talking like that. But like, no, like it's true, man. Like,
It's just balance. It's just a balance.
mm.
People go one way, too much
Yeah.
one way or too much
I mean-
the other way. It's just figuring out the balance. That's all it is.
Who is it who talked about that? My friends, your friends. Her saying is find your balance. Yeah, Raluca. She says that. Find you. That when she said that's her thing. I was like, it's like when Summit came up with We Progress Together.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
perfect statement. Find your balance. Do you know what I mean? If I had to like meditate for 20 minutes a day, I'm sure it'd be great, and I've done it before. But right now,
It's not
You
the
don't
right
have
thing.
time.
I'd get
right? Yeah,
more
whatever.
anxiety
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
meditate.
Well, the balance changes. I even say the same thing to Ine as well. I'm like, what is the balance between like eating good, eating kind of like a treat, going out with your friends, reading, all that kind of stuff. Like, what is the balance? Find it and then do it. But the balance changes depending on your circumstances. So like right now, we're in like heavy work mode. Like we got like 3-4 projects that we're trying to get off the ground, and each project is as big as we've ever done. You know, so we don't have the balance of certain things in our life. We can't meditate, we can't journal, I can't listen to the content I want to, all that kind of stuff. So now what is the balance? So right now for the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, it's like we're all guns blazing on the projects. That's it. So there's no balance or very little balance. The balance changes. And then after 6 weeks, once everything is kind of launched and we're done and we figured it all out, then the balance rechanges. It's just a matter of figuring out when and how that should work for you.
Yeah, it's weird. I actually made a post on my Instagram the other day because I feel like since I've become more busy, or maybe I'm more sensitive to it, but since I've become more busy, I feel like more and more people are asking for like one-on-ones. And I think every week, and it could be like not good for my reputation, but every week, I think I'm just going to put a message out being like, can't meet one-on-one. Just can't do it. Zooms all day long. I had a meeting this morning with an interesting guy. I've not briefed you on it yet. I need to talk to you about it, Vic. But I had this conversation. This dude was like, I want to talk to you about something. He's got an interesting business model. We have some overlap. So I had the conversation with him. I was like, look, I can't come see you. And you know what the scary thing is? I can't see anybody really, honestly, until September. Me and you normally write our year off by early November. We're like, this is our year's done. But it's weird. It's just so funny as we talk about it. It's like almost a bit of a therapy session. But like we normally know that going into like the quiet season, that we get really, really busy, and then we kind of wrap our year up end of October, beginning of November. We're like, we can't take anything until the new year. But because of the seasonality of Dubai specifically, and the fact that the downtime is over the summer, if I'm going to be in London in 2 weeks, come back for 2 weeks, that's going to be very little time for anybody in those 2 weeks. It's only going to be family and work, and then head over to Bali for a month. And then obviously I'll be with you guys in Europe and stuff like that. Like, when am I honestly going to be back on the ground in Dubai to like schmingle and jingle and do all that stuff?
But that's the way we structure the next 3-4 months, right? That's intentionally done. So you just make adjustments, man. Like thing is, now everyone can just meet on Zoom. You don't need to meet people in person if you don't need to. Like, you're going to get the same advice, value, conversation over Zoom minus 10%. It's enough. We've got priorities. We've got things that we need to get on with, and people understand that. People have their own stuff that they need to do, and people get it. It's like, look, I can give you 30 minutes on Zoom. Like we have a call next week, and it was supposed to be a face-to-face meeting, and I would love that if it was, but we're running around so much that I said to the guy, look, we're all over the place. Can we just book in 30 minutes on Zoom? He was like, yeah, cool. I get it. Everyone's got stuff to do. So
you know what the most dangerous thing is? One thing and it's not a pet peeve. It's just not good business. I still get a phone call a week being like, I'm doing this, and I was thinking maybe we could work together. And I'm like, all right, cool. How do you want to work together? I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like maybe we could we just throw some ideas around. And I'm like, don't do that. You just showed me your amateur card. Like, know what I'm doing, or know what we're doing as an agency. Know what you're doing. Figure out the bit that this is really important. Figure out where you've got excess margin, where you can use as an incentive. Be like, look, we're doing this. We don't do the most sales in it, but when we do it, we make a crap ton of money. There's actually enough to incentivize you, Raj, as our partner, to align yourself with us. And that's what it is. But like, I don't want to throw around ideas about how I can participate in your business. That's not good, because I'm like, you haven't thought this through. I need to know, like, how have you thought this through? And I think that's never been the case. I've always been much more of a speculative person. But even Vic will say this, because you've been recovering for a month, right? But like, how many things in the last month, but specifically the last week and a half to 2 weeks, have we scrapped? Yeah. Because the ROI is just not there. With time, every single day we've got less and less time until I leave, till Vic leaves, till you leave, and all that kind of stuff. Even down to the guys, if you're watching this right now on YouTube or Spotify, you're going to see that there's a lot less in the way of overlays, only because for every overlay costs us as a business, what, 4 or 5 minutes?
Well, anything between 6 to 13 minutes, depending on the overlay.
Yeah.
Like, for real, that's a real number.
Yeah, upload it to Dropbox, let me download it, overlay it. So
crop it, the whole lot. it just comes down to priorities. Like that's all it is. And the thing is, when someone approaches you and says, "Oh, I want to figure out ways that we could work together," it's like, no, you figure it out because they've approached you.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same thing when like someone's going for a job, or whatever it might be going, or trying to get a deal. Like going, okay, look, I've seen this company, I've seen your company, I've seen what you do. This is what I do, and these are some ideas I have of some changes that you can make, some improvements that you can make, some things that I think I could add value to, so on and so forth. Someone's going to give you the time of day. If someone came up to you and said, all right, look, I know you're doing this workshop, I know you got My Friends, Your Friends, and you're launching this course. Well, here's what I've done in that world, right? And this is what my agency does, and this is where I think I could help you. That's a straight, clear, direct shot to a potential partnership or potential something to work together. It just doesn't make sense not to do it any other way.
Yeah, I think I've got these bad habits of like, giving people like access to like speculative stuff. But I think for me personally, that's why Bali is going to be really useful, is because I'm going to be in a place where people don't just pull up in the city. In London and Dubai, somebody just show up randomly on a Wednesday morning and be like, yo, let's catch up. And for certain those people, we have to do it as well.
Yeah.
Like they're, we've got history with these people and they're always about doing some cool stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So that being said, on the flip side, if anybody's got anything interesting that they're working on and they want to share it with us, then just drop us an email. My email address is raj@creativecontentagency.com. Vic is on.
VIK, Vic @creativecontentagency.com.
And Alex
Alex@creativecontentagency.com.
Wouldn't it be so funny if Alex got just a sick deal in?
Yeah, I know.
Imagine.
If someone just messaged Alex being like, yo, man, we're thinking about like doing this and have a look at it for us.
He's like you're my favorite character on the podcast. I think you and Ine are going to have a little battle on the favorite character on the podcast.
Yeah.
But
Really?
you just get this massive deal in. That'd be cool. Good for
You
you.
get points on the deal as well.
Yeah. Go get it.
Let's go. Okay, cool. Anything else?
No, that's it on content recommendations. So let's end up with some shout outs. So the first shout out is
everybody that's part of My Friends, Your Friends. Thank you so much for being part of it. We are way over 200 people signed up, which is magnificent. That happened so quickly. That's not including the 15 co-hosts and the friends that they're going to bring. The venue holds 200. We will sign up 400 to 500 because there's a natural dropout. I'm just giving you our honest numbers. But it's going to be a super packed event. So make sure you get on there as the world comes out from a holiday week here in Dubai. I noticed a lot more people engaging with My Friends, Your Friends on social media and on the ticketing platform. So, get involved. Shout out to everybody who's involved in any which way. And shout out to the venue as well, Glow in Al Fatan Currency House. Next up,
Mr. Beiru's Mystery. It was his birthday 2 days ago, I think.
the Brown Adonis. He's cut out of, oak? That's the only brown thing that I can think of. It's like,
But then they say like model out of marble or something like that.
Yeah, but there's no brown marble. Is there?
Yeah. No, I'm sure that. Yeah, there is.
What?
I mean, I'm sure there is. I don't know. Like.
Wait, isn't it called opal? Wait. Anyway, he's in good shape, that Berus.
He's a cool cat. It was his birthday the other day. He's a big DJ in the city, one half of Mixed Feelings with Travi, who we've spoken about as well previously.
So shout out to him.
Big shout out to Berus. Happy birthday.
And everybody who celebrated Eid this week. It was an incredible Eid. The vibes in the city were good. It was quiet, which is obvious because a lot of folks are traveling. But then there was just a great energy across the city in the restaurants and with the people and even at the barber shops. So shout out to all of our Muslim loved ones, not only here in Dubai, but across the world who have been celebrating it. Very happy for you. I don't even know really what to just keeping it like 1,000. It's just like, I'm just really happy that you had such a great week this week, such a superb reason to celebrate. So I hope that this week gave you everything that you need and more and sets you up for your next 12 months.
Amazing. And that is it. That's a wrap.
How's it feel to be back?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ready to rock next week?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
I'm ready. Back in
Nice.
Dubai,
Big week next week, buddy.
right?
Oh, God, next week's a huge week. My Friends, Your Friends.
Yeah.
Russell Peters in town on the 12th.
Yeah.
Yo, do me a favor. Russell Peters is in town on the 12th next week in Dubai, 12th of May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be at which comedy festival?
It's the Dubai Comedy
Dubai
Festival. I can't remember the name of the venue.
Okay, go and support that man. He's our good friend. This show's going to be incredible. He's going to be on the Act Your Age tour, and I don't know if that tour is going to come to Dubai again, so make sure you go and see it.
Yeah.
Anything else next week?
That's it. Oh, next week? No, aside from Neil being in town, our nephew, on an internship or work experience, then probably we've got a couple of events that we actually need to go to next week.
14th is our activation.
14th
10th is Taco Stars.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to Gary.
Wednesday is My Friends, Your Friends. Thursday is Russell. And then it's just another working week. Just like, it's mad. We've got like 3 captures next week for clients.
Wow.
Yeah, next week is
Nice.
on.
Next week's algo is going to be crazy. If you're ready for it. Huh?
It's good.
It's going to be great. Next week, we'll be busy, but I hope you enjoyed this week as well. If you have, the best way to let us know is Spotify Video Crew. Shout out to Kim. She messaged me. I sent you the message.
Yeah.
She said, really loving the fact that you guys are on video now on Spotify. So appreciate that love. All the Spotify video gang, give us a 5-star rating. It's in the top left-hand side of the channel. Apple 5-star rating and review would be amazing. Helps us get discovered by those guys, Tim Cook and them, and YouTube crew. You know what to do. Subscribe at the very least. Subscription numbers going up,
Yeah.
which I'm loving.
That's good.
And then hit the notification bell to get these episodes ASAP. Likes and comments are super appreciated. We will see you next week on the Raj Kotecha Show.